The Black Tusk Warhounds. Have you ever wondered what's the most efficient way of dealing with them? Let me introduce you to some concepts that will make your life easier once you encounter one of these. First of all, what does our agent have at his disposal that helps him deal with these warhounds? Let's start with shade skills. There are two that stand out. Firstly, Jammer Pulse, which has a large area of effect, but a short EMP effect duration. And its counterpart, that is better for single targets, would be the EMP Sticky Bomb, which has a small detonation radius but a very long duration. This duration can always be increased by any status effects you have on gear. Next off, specializations. If you are a technician, make sure you have spent your points in dismantling. This will give you 12% damage boost against all warhounds. There are some weapons that are worth noting. Scorpio, on the 6th shot, applies shock, which also works for our skills. Shock Trap is an option, but very clunky. And there is a Firefly that would help us, which I'll demonstrate later. Another weapon that stands out is the Ravenous, which I'll demonstrate later as well. First, let's clear this big misconception about armor damage and warhounds. I'll be bringing 3 different classic M1As with completely similar stats. But a different third attribute, which means we can see the difference of damage between health damage, armor damage, and no damage bonus at all. The talents are of course neutral damage increases. They do not affect dogs at all. First of all, I equipped gear that does not increase my damage at all with guns, so the results should not be affected. Let's go after this dog here. EMP for easier testing, starting with reload speed. Damage numbers are consistent, swapping to armor damage. 6% higher damage numbers should be expected, but here's the thing, dogs do not have armor, they have armor plates. There is a big difference. As you can see, there's no white segmented lines indicating that they would have armor, therefore it does not increase their damage at all. And finally, health damage. They only have a health bar, which means they will be affected by health damage. As you can see, the damage increase is equal to the health damage amount. For the second test, I'll be using my health damage M1A, but it could be any other one. I'll demonstrate the difference between shooting the legs and the armor. On the armor we get the same damage number as before, but if I shoot the leg, it is exactly 10% of the damage I would do to the armor. The reason for this is dogs have 90% damage reduction for any damage that hits them in the leg. For the next test, I equipped an automatic weapon to demonstrate the damage between the crits and non-crits on the legs of the dogs a bit easier. Let's check this out. Pay attention to the damage numbers when they are crits and non-crits. So the normal 90% reduction applies to the damage that is dealt by non-critical hits. If it comes to critical hits, this damage number is higher than it should be. If you follow the same rule, it should be somewhere about 20,000, but instead it's 3 times that. This equals to 40%. I have received different numbers depending on what gear and weapons I use, so I cannot provide a proper formula to determine the damage you'll be getting. Well, let's showcase the Ravenous. This weapon has a special property. It can bypass the armor completely with its red primers. If I apply these buffs, you can see the dog has not taken any damage before breaking the armor. But if I swap stance and blow these primers up, you can see the explosion has bypassed their armor. Another property which is interesting is since the dogs have armor plates, this can be increased by the Ravenous. If you notice the damage numbers, they are significantly higher this time, and the armor is already broken because of this. This can be repeated multiple times to increase the damage further and further. For the next showcase, which is the Demolition Firefly, I will be rocking a high skill damage build with glass cannon and certain talents that increase my skill damage. I will not be utilizing these gloves as there is no hive to overcharge with. I will be disabling the dog and then using the Demolition Firefly on it. As you can see, it says it destroys enemy weak points, but also skill proxies. And the dogs are essentially skill proxies, or robotics. So let's see how it goes. Disable him, proc in-sync, launch the Firefly, and the dog is dead to a 25 million damage hit. Super easy way to deal with them. Finally, I'll be showing you some clips where you can see certain spots on different types of dogs that allow you to bypass the armor completely. The sniper dog can be neutralized easily by shooting him in the butt.
System.
The grenade dog can be dealt with fairly easily by shooting him in either the grenade launcher or the part that connects the grenade launcher to its body. Finally, the machine gun dog, who has no spot to bypass the armor at all. The only option are shooting him in the leg, or breaking the armor on his body, or using some of the other methods I listed earlier. So that wraps it up. I hope you enjoyed the video, and good luck with your next Warhound encounter.